All right, good afternoon, everyone. This meeting is called to order, April 15th, 2024. Madam Clerk, pledge, please.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Councilman Asbill is absent. Councilman Buddy?
Present.
Councilman Chatelain?
Present.
Councilman Johnston?
Present.
Councilman Ricks is absent. Mayor Baudier?
Present.
Police Chief LaPree? Fire Chief St. Cyr absent. Finance Director Todd Turnion? City Attorney Scott Stansberry absent. Myself, Municipal Clerk Carrie Husis is present. And we're going to be doing the public hearing first. So this is a public...
Stansberry as well.
Oh, Scott Stansberry is present. Public hearing to consider and vote on levying additional or increased millage rates without further voter approval or adopting the adjusted millage rates after reassessment and rolling forward to rates not to exceed the prior year's maximum. The estimated amount of tax revenues to be collected in the next year from the increased millage is $2,388,153, and the amount of increase in taxes attributable to the millage increase is $94,398.
All right, that's all we're doing. Do we just have a motion? We need a motion to adjourn? Scott, do we'll open up for public hearing? Okay. Anybody want to come speak on the following public hearing statement on the millage? Public hearing is now open. Please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
Jean Cazenave, 46 Oak Avenue, Harahan, Louisiana. This increase in millage, you said the $94,398, which will be added to our taxes, right?
Correct. Property tax.
So that'll be, it'll be up to the, let me see, the millage then. But then you want to be able to vote for additional millage without our vote?
No, ma'am. It'll just automatically be added. Hey, what is the increase? You said it went from 21.02 to 21.97?
So our current rate last year is 21.9.
Okay.
When the reassessment came in, it came in at 21.07.
Okay.
Sorry. So last year, our rate was 21.93. So when the reassessment came in, it was assessed at 21.07. And then you have the option to roll forward to the maximum rate, which would be 21.93.
Which was last year's?
So you want to roll it forward, which would increase it to the 94,000, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And that's an increase.
But I thought it said on here that you want to assess the property or either go up with the millage higher than that without a vote of the people?
No, ma'am. Someone else is telling you that.
No,
We've never said that.
No, it says it here. It's in the language. It's just the way the language is put out by state statute. Believe I don't say that. I know it
Yeah.
makes it look like odd, but it's just the way state statute.
because
has
if y'all are
proposal
going to
that
raise the taxes on the people, you have to go to a vote of the
Right.
people
Correct. We know.
and not take it upon yourself to do
We know.
that.
This has been done every 4 years for the last 50 years. I don't know how long, but it's been done every 4 years for same thing we've been doing since
I know
Harry.
they roll it up forward and sometimes they don't roll it
Can
forward.
you tell me when's the last time they didn't roll it forward?
I don't even know.
90s, when I was on the council.
When you were mayor, right?
No, when
No?
Vinny was mayor.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I understand the rolling forward, but I just want to make sure that y'all don't intend to vote for a tax without the people's vote.
No.
Baby, I'm too pretty to go to jail.
That language unfortunately comes from the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's Office. Like, that's the language we have to use. So that's why it says without further voter approval, but it's just a roll forward.
How
It's-
much is the city in a hole for right now, total taxes? Because I noticed even this month, y'all down $100,000. Now, I would imagine that every month, y'all short.
Because all our taxes come in at one time of the year.
At the beginning, right. Yeah, I know
We're not in the
most of
hole.
them come in. And I was just wondering, how much in a hole is the city in? Y'all should know that.
Well, but I don't
We got the
think we're in
finance
hole.
director's gonna do a report. We're not in the hole.
Yeah, I don't think we're in the hole. We receive a big deposit of property tax amounts at the beginning of the year. So if you're looking at revenues and expenses on a cash basis during the year, we will spend more, the expenses and the checks we write throughout the year will typically be more than we collect in all the months except for January and December when we get the big property tax.
But it's been that way. Like, this is nothing
that's
new.
not
I know
anything different.
Miss Judy used to always say, oh, y'all spent more than y'all took in.
Look, this is not Judy. This is me talking, okay? I
We
came to
have
the
this
meetings too.
conversation, seems every year, but as our finance director said, 11 out of 12 months of the year, this city will spend more money than it takes in. Those months. It doesn't put the year out of balance. Our year, we have a budget that we balanced for the last 5 years.
Right. I do realize that if the city is in the hole, we are responsible to pay for that.
Well,
Yes,
not
ma'am, you're right.
necessarily, not unless, you know, there's
No,
a
if
tax.
the
that
city's in the
taxes you.
hole and y'all spend 5 million over budget and we in a hole, we responsible to pay for that. That's why I said y'all should not do anything without a vote of the people.
Well, we don't raise taxes without a vote of the people. You've heard it 5 times, ma'am.
Well,
It doesn't happen. It
I
hasn't
just want to
happened.
make sure that this doesn't say that.
It doesn't.
All right, anyone else? We'll now close public hearing. Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn? We have a motion by Councilman Buddy, second by Councilman Johnson to adjourn. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
That's 3 yeas, 2 absent. We are adjourned. Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. We're going to call the regularly scheduled council meeting to order. Madam Clerk, we'll go through the formality again. Pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance.
I'm so glad it's raining outside. The yard is burning up.
Roll call.
Yeah, well, we know.
Okay, roll call. Councilman Asbill's absent. Councilman Buddy.
Present?
Councilman Chatelain.
Present.
Councilman Johnston.
Present.
Councilman Ricks is absent. Mayor Bodier.
Present.
Police Chief LaPree. Fire Chief St. Cyr is absent. Finance Director Todd Turnion. City Attorney Scott Stansberry. Myself, Carrie Hughes, as clerk, present. Mayor's announcements.
No mayor's announcements. We're going to go right into special presentations, Madam Clerk.
Okay, special presentations. Special presentation number 1, Jennifer Fuselier with Eisner Ampner for the 2023 financial statement audit results.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Fuselier, audit partner with Eisner Amper. I have with me Lewis, who is the senior on the engagement, so he was involved in the day-to-day with our team, with the city staff, working throughout the audit. So we are presenting the December 31st, 2023 audit results. We did complete our audit work in June and issued the report with the legislative auditor prior to the June 30th deadline. This is a public document, so it is available on the legislative auditor's website. We issued a clean or unmodified opinion, which is what you would want to see in your report. So we stated in the financial statements referred to present fairly in all material specs, the financial position and changes in financial position of the city. So I wasn't going to go through too much. We did have a detailed meeting prior to issuing with the mayor and the city staff to go over the numbers in detail and the financial statements and the audit results. So I was going to high-level talk through some of the financial statements, do a high-level comparison from the 2023 to 2022 balances. So overall, as of December 31st, 2023, the city ended with about 11 million of total net position. That was an increase of 3.7 million from the prior year 12/31/2022 balance. Assets increased about 3.3 million overall from 2022, mainly due to an increase of 2.4 million in capital assets. So there was some construction projects that finished in 2023 and others that started and were still sitting in progress at the end of the year. There was also an increase in receivables. That was mainly due to the change in the tax collector for the property taxes. So kind of like we were talking about, that was collected by Jefferson Parish. So there was a receivable as of year end that was larger than prior years, just waiting for that cash to come in from the parish. Looking at kind of your statement of activities, so your income statement, expenses overall were pretty consistent with the prior year. There was about a $500,000 increase, but nothing major. Looking at your program revenues, your charges for service and your capital grants and contributions were consistent with the prior year, 2022. Your operating grants and contributions did decrease about $2.2 million, and that's really just due to your FEMA grants decreasing during 2023. You had about $3 million of FEMA revenue recorded in 2022, and that decrease in 2023 just due to the timing of those obligations by FEMA. Looking at sales and use tax, that increased about $1 million in 2023, and that's mainly due to having a full year of the fire sales tax during 2023, whereas in 2022 is only about half of the year. So overall, you had a change in net position or net income for the year of about $3.7 million for 2023. The financial statement footnote disclosures are pretty consistent with the prior year. There was no new footnotes. There was no new accounting pronouncements that were applicable and effective for the city. So no real changes in your disclosures except, of course, updating for current year activity, but nothing new or added there. So I wasn't going to go through the footnotes. One thing to maybe just point out, I know the new fire truck lease was signed in 2023. However, that is not included in your 2023 financial statements because the fire truck was not being constructed yet, and there was no payments made on that lease in 2023. So that's something that would be new recorded in 2024 once the actual fire truck started being constructed and you started making payments on that. We did issue 2 other reports that I wanted to talk through. So in addition to the financial statement audit report, we issued a report on internal control and compliance in accordance with government auditing standards, and we issued a report on internal control and compliance with the uniform guidance. So on your internal control report with government auditing standards, we did have one finding noted regarding an instance of non-compliance related to the Louisiana Budget Act. The FEMA fund, the actual expenditures ended up being more than 5% of the budgeted expenditures at year end, and that's just the Budget Act law that you need to make an amendment to the budget prior to year end if your expenditures are going to be more than 5%. I know the FEMA expenditures can be, a little wonky with the timing of working with FEMA, so just something to look through. To clear that finding in the future, you need to amend your budget prior to year end if you're seeing that your actual expenditures are going to be more than 5%. There was no internal control findings on that report, so we had no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses or any internal control deficiencies to report on. The other report that I referenced on the uniform guidance, this is due to the city expending more than $750 of federal expenditures during the fiscal year, which required you to have an additional single audit. We had this last year on FEMA. This year you had about $1 million of federal expenditures. $825,000 of that was the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds, more commonly known as ARPA expenditures, and you did have about $125,000 of FEMA expenditures. So we performed a separate single audit over the ARPA funds that were expended in 2023. So we had additional testing on the specific compliance requirements and the city's controls over those compliance requirements. We did have one instance of non-compliance reported there related to the reporting compliance requirement. So the ARPA grant required that a report be completed and submitted every year, the annual project and expenditure report. The report was not filed during 2023. However, there was no expenditures expended during the time of the period that the report covered. However, the grant required that a report still get submitted, just saying none of our expenditures had been expended yet, and just give a progress update. So that was required to be reported as a finding. Management included a response. We have talked with management. The report has subsequently now been submitted, and the city is caught up and has submitted any other reports for covering the fiscal year 2023 that was required to be submitted in early 2024. The only other thing I wanted to cover on that report, last year, we did have a payroll finding related to internal controls over payroll. We are required to go back and test any prior year findings, so we selected a sample on that this year during the 2023 audit. We had no findings or exceptions noted there, so we did note that that payroll internal control finding has been resolved. The one other report we issued is the required legislative auditor statewide agreed upon procedures report. I was going to let Louis briefly talk on that, and then we'll take any questions.
Come on, Louis.
Thank you, Jen. So several years ago, the Louisiana Legislative Auditor implemented these agreed-upon procedures to be performed. The objective being that internal control processes are working, the funds are not being wasted or abused. It's important to note in this report, we do not express an opinion. It's simply just states whether the procedures were met. The procedures are very yes or no straightforward. There were a few exceptions, and I can mention them. In the written policies procedure, there was a policy that did not meet the specific requirements prescribed by the LLA. It's also important to note that all of these exceptions I'm about to mention, management has responded and stated that there will be procedures in the future or have already been corrected to not hopefully not these not happen again. Bank reconciliations, there was one bank rec that had an outstanding item where the research of it wasn't documented. It was known, it was immaterial, but it just wasn't documented. Collections, there were 2 deposits that were not made within 1 business day, which is what the Louisiana Legislative Auditor recommends. Harahan has its own control procedures that are operating just fine, but we just had to put it on the report as an exception. Credit cards, there were some instances of transactions that didn't have itemized receipts. The business documentation or business purpose wasn't documented, and then there was an instance of business meals where all individuals were not listed on the receipt. And for some of the trainings, there was 1 employee that was tested that did not meet the training, but that has since been corrected. That's everything. With that, we'll take any questions.
I do just want to note, these exceptions are pretty routine. It's things we are seeing at other entities. None of those exceptions rose to the level that required additional reporting. None of these were instances of non-compliance or internal control findings. Like Louis said, it is just something we have to report on, that the legislative auditor puts these procedures out.
Louis,
we
you
get a
realize
hard
when
copy?
you came up here, lightning was striking out there, right? Just want to let you know.
Do we get a hard copy?
Can you get a hard copy?
Do you give us a hard copy?
We can't, did we send any to you? We can provide hard copies, yes.
We've always gotten hard
Oh,
we've
sure,
always
yeah.
gotten hard
Yeah,
copies to the
yeah.
council.
Sure, we can.
So we'd like to see a hard copy so I can look over it. Everything you said just now? What?
Yeah, no, we
know, I
provided
wanna see a hard
electronic
copy so I
copies,
can
but we
read
can
it.
definitely provide hard copies.
I can print it out for you. The electronic copy she sent.
I'd
I
like
mean,
to see-
whatever, a printed,
Something we
a
could
printed
see,
copy.
something we could see and read over it. That'd be
Sure.
good for us.
I'll print it out for y'all.
And could you discuss for a moment the status of the sewerage fund?
The status of it?
I mean, it's a large item, and it seems to always fly under the radar.
Well,
I mean, we've got a sewer fund.
So we
A few
do,
years ago, it was illiquid. I hope it's not now.
oh no, there's separate, so we do have the separate fund financials presented in the audited financial statements. So you want me to just touch on the balances there, or? Because we,
You know, there's revenue
Yep.
and expenses and balances. Yes,
Yep, so the
please.
sewer fund has about a little bit less than 10 million in assets as of December 31st, most of that being the capital assets. Liabilities were right around 4 million, so your total net position of the sewer fund is about 5 million. So looking at the revenue and expenses for the year 2023, your operating revenues, so your charges for service and your sewer impact fees were right at $1 million, $1.4 million. Operating expenses were at 1.3 million, so there was an operating loss of about 300,000. That's offset by your property tax revenue, some capital grant revenue. So your income before any transfers from other funds was about 667,000. So then there was some transfers in and out from the ARPA fund, because some of those expenses that we talked about were used to pay for sewer capital improvements. So overall, the sewers net position increased by about 2 million for
What
2023.
makes up $4 million in liabilities? What are the big areas? Do we know?
I can-
I mean, is it in the, that's detailed. I'm not sure you've got it.
The biggest thing is the loan payable, the DEQ loan. That was about 2.6 million as of year end. There's some small other, accounts payable, and some due to other funds of about 743,000. But the biggest item is that DEQ loan payable.
How much of that is due to the general fund? Do you know offhand?
I can check that, probably most of it.
743,000?
I can check that, but probably most of it.
Yeah.
So what's the cash balance?
The cash balance. There's 171,000 of unrestricted cash and 445,000 of restricted cash. So a little bit over 500,000 of cash in the sewer fund. This is as of December 31st, 2023. I just want to reiterate. That's the numbers we were reporting on.
Just to add, the restricted cash of 445 is restricted for debt service or in accordance with the debt agreements.
Yep, we've
So
had
that
that.
is
That-
not
that's
used,
fine.
correct. That's a static and not used to fund operations.
Right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Thank you, guys. Y'all are awesome.
All right. Well, we do appreciate, all the city's help. I know going through an audit, single audit, statewide agreed upon procedures is a lot, so we do appreciate it, and we enjoy working with you all.
On top of everything else. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Madam Clerk, Regulatory Department update. Sorry that the regulatory clerk could not make it tonight. She was much under the weather. So we're going to go ahead and just move that to the next agenda.
Yeah, I'd like to.
We'll defer it to the next
Okay.
meeting. Do I have to vote on that? Just if it's in special presentations? Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Chatterley and a second by Councilman Buddy to defer Regulatory Department update to the next council meeting. We'll open for public hearing. No one coming forth. We'll close public hearing. All in favor to defer?
Yay.
Yay.
3 yeas, 2 absence. Madam Clerk, please note next month's agenda.
What did we say? Oh, she ain't here. Who wants it?
We'll just skip next.
Approval of minutes. Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on July 18th, 2024.
Have a motion to approve those minutes by Councilman Chatterley. We'll now open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak about the minutes? No one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing. Have a motion by Councilman Chatterley, second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor
We've got to go through the reading first, don't we, Mayor?
of the readings? No, we're going to dispense with the,
Well, that's what I mean. We haven't dispensed with the reading.
right?
A motion to dispense.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
We have a motion, by, my allergies have been driving me crazy. I'm sorry about that. We have a motion by Councilman Chatterley and second by Councilman Buddy to dispense with the reading of the minutes. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
3 yeas, 2 absence. Madam Clerk?
Approval of the minutes of the council meeting on July 18th,
Okay, so we have
2024.
a motion by Councilman Johnson to approve those minutes. We'll open for public hearing. No one coming forth. We'll close public hearing. Have a second by Councilman Chatterley. All in favor to approve the minutes of the council meeting on July 13th to 18th, 2024?
Yay.
All in
Yay.
favor? 3 yeas, 2 absence. Madam Clerk?
All right, we have no communications. Resolutions. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council of the city of Harahan. Proposed resolution number 2024-9 to adopt the 2020 adjusted millage rates. Let me grab it because I got to read it in entirety. So proposed resolution number 2024-9, be it resolved by the council of the city of Harahan, parish of Jefferson, state of Louisiana, in a public meeting held on August 15th, 2024, which meeting was conducted in accordance with the open meetings law and the additional requirements of Article, I guess that's 8, Section 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and Revised Statute 47, 1705B, that the following adjusted millage rates be, and they are hereby levied upon the dollar of the assessed valuation of all property subject to ad valorem taxation within said city for the year 2024 for the purpose of raising revenue. So for the millages, we have constitutional general alimony at 3.94 mils. 1977 general alimony is 1.55 mils. 1982 general alimony is 2.25 mils. Sewage maintenance tax, 0.85 mils. Fire protection, construction, and maintenance, 4.8 mils. Police payroll, benefits, and expenses, 4.8 mils. Sewage construction and maintenance, 2.88, for a total tax of 21.07 mils. Be it further resolved that the tax collector of the city of Harahan shall extend upon the assessment roll for the year 2024 the taxes herein levied, and the tax collector of said city shall collect and remit the same to said taxing authority in accordance with law. The foregoing resolution was read in full. The roll was called on the adoption thereof, and this resolution was adopted by the following votes.
Now, this is where we have to, do we have to defer?
Now, this one, y'all can vote.
Okay, so we can vote, okay. So anyone coming forth want to come speak on proposed resolutions number 2024-9, please come to the podium, state your name and address. No one coming forth, will now close public hearing. Council discussion?
Now, I'd like to just make a general comment that this is about a 4% increase over a 4-year period.
This is a
Well, I'm
decrease.
sorry.
This is a decrease.
Yeah, this is a decrease. It's a decrease in the millage rate, keeps the dollars to the city flat, same we've got 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It's about, with this, and Councilman Johnson corrected me, there's no increase here. This is a reduction in the millage. We keep the dollars to the city coming in the same as it did 4 years ago. And I just want to make a point for the citizens to understand that if this council rolls the millages forward, which I believe we will, that'll result in 4% higher overall cash receipts by the city than we got 4 years ago.
Over 4
1% a
years.
year.
Yeah.
It's like getting a cost of living raise of 1% a year. Inflation over the last 4 years has been 20%. We're going to get 4%. The city's real purchasing power and its ability to pay raises and ability to pay higher utility bills has been reduced as to our property tax bucket revenue by 16%. So none of us like to pay higher taxes, but this situation is actually putting the city in a purchasing power hole. There's no windfall here. We're not going to be able to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. We've got 16% less purchasing power if this millage rolls forward than we had 4 years ago as to the property tax bucket of our revenue. That's just a comment I want to make.
Okay, sorry about that, okay. No more council discussion. We'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
3 yeas.
I'm sorry, 3 yeas, 2 absents. Madam Clerk?
Okay. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the Council of the City of Harahan. Proposed resolution number 2024-10 to set forth the 2024 adjusted millage rates and roll forward to millage rates not exceeding the maximum authorized rates. This one you have.
Okay, so we're gonna have to, we're gonna defer this. All right, so we have a motion by Councilman Chatelain to defer. We'll open for public hearing, because I still have to open for public hearing. No one coming forth, we'll close public hearing. We have a motion by Councilman Chatelain to defer proposed resolution number 2024-10. We have a second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor to defer?
Yay.
We have 3 yeas, 2 absents. Madam Clerk, please note for the record. The reason why this ordinance is deferred is because there has to be a vote of the full council. All 5 members have to be here to vote on this ordinance, so with that,
Four
Miss-
out of 5.
I'm sorry, you're right. We need 2/3 to pass this, so that takes 4 members here to vote. We don't have 4 members here today, so we have to defer to the next council meeting. Thank you,
Which-
Councilman Chatelain.
We already spoke to the tax collectors, and we're still going to make our deadline if we vote on it at the next meeting. So it's not going to affect us, it's just, the vote's going to be next meeting. I mean, I'll say now, I mean, I'm in favor of rolling forward. Spoke to Councilman Asbill, he's in favor of rolling forward. Spoke to Councilman Rick, he's in favor of rolling forward. They're not here to make that vote tonight. It's the only reason we're not doing it.
Okay, Madam Clerk, proposed resolution 2024-11.
The following resolution was offered by Councilman Asbill, but will now be offered by Councilman Chatelain in his absence. Proposed resolution number 2024-11, a resolution ordering and calling a special election to be held in the city of Harahan, state of Louisiana, to authorize the renewal of a special tax therein, making application to the State Bond Commission, and providing for other matters in connection therewith, and this is for the fire millage renewal.
Okay, anyone wanting to come speak on proposed resolution 2024-11, please come to the podium.
Want to know more about the fire? Majin Cazenave, 46 Oak Avenue. The auditor just said that the fire truck has been ordered, but it's not even constructed yet.
They're constructing it now.
That was last year. The audit went ended.
2023.
Audit ended 2023.
We already have 3 fire trucks back at the firehouse. Why do we need another fire truck? That's going to cost us millions of dollars.
We're not going to have another one. We're going to replace a truck that's about 25 years old and getting very expensive to service. So
And
it's like replacing your car when it's 25 years old.
If my house catches fire, I want a fire truck to show up.
Well, I guess you do. Everybody else does also.
That's right. That's why we're going to get a new fire truck.
The equipment's just old and outdated, Miss Magine, that's all. It's constantly breaking hydraulic pumps. It's been a fortune to maintain. The
We-
parts are even becoming to where we can't get them anymore. It's just very old, and we have an opportunity to swap it out with a new one, so we're just trying to take advantage of it now. But however, it's not costing you anything at all. I want to let you know that. This is coming out of the sales tax money that's been collected over the past couple years, and so it's not coming out of any taxes that would have been applied to a Harahan resident as far as property tax.
Well, why are we on the project of the firehouse? Somebody told me that they want a new firehouse back there. Is that true?
Which one?
Oh, we need a new
Our main
firehouse.
firehouse.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do we need a new firehouse?
It's still destroyed from Ida. We're still dealing with FEMA
Yes.
and insurance companies to get that firehouse back straight. Them guys are living in a double-wide trailer right now.
Well,
It's not
when
even
a-
legal to put a double-wide trailer in Harahan.
The last administration was in here, which you were a part of it. Barbara Butera and I went back and inspected the firehouse back there. They had mold back there. The place was not kept clean. We made a report, and you all never did anything about the report that we passed on it.
I disagree with you. We started looking into that, and we started doing work over there, and they started cleaning up the air conditions and getting the fire department to take and maintain the place. And then we had a hurricane hit the place. So we're not putting money into it right now. FEMA won't even allow us to do anything
Can't
at the
touch it.
place.
Can't
The
even
guys
touch
are
it.
living in a double-wide trailer. We want them to have a new firehouse more than anyone else, I promise you.
Well, I tell you, when Barbara and I inspected it, 3 air conditioning units had fallen down. They had never cleaned it up. It was in terrible condition.
And Ms. Beijing, I'd love to see your credentials that gives you a certification to go over there and inspect mold and whatever else gives you the certification to inspect
Well,
this
I
building.
have 2 eyes, and I can see dirt where I see dirt.
You say the prior administration, you talking about the Maselli administration?
No, no, no. The last 8 years.
Well, that would be Mayor
I'm not-
Maselli.
I don't know if you were here.
Talking about last term, me and you.
But, right.
Well, last term, I don't
You
remember
were
seeing a
probably on a
report.
council. Asbill might have been on. Do you remember, Barbara?
5 years ago, I was on the council about 5 years ago to today, but I don't remember seeing a report.
Yeah, well, we made a report here
Well, I don't know
In writing.
who got it
and told y'all
and who
what we
asked you
found
to
back
do it.
there.
I just haven't seen it. Now, we've known that there are issues with the fire station.
And we have never got a report. because y'all don't answer people when they come here.
We're answering you,
A
ma'am.
lot of times you make you wait till the end of the meeting before you can speak, and you said, we'll get back with you, and that was the end of it.
Well, this is not supposed to be a discussion, so I'll move that we stick to the topic.
You got my phone number?
Huh?
You ever called me? You got my phone number?
No, why should I call you? I came here and reported it.
Call me up. I'll come sit down and talk to you. We can explain. We could drive to the firehouse, everything else. You're seeing this saying we don't need a new firehouse right now. I wouldn't live in that firehouse. I don't expect them to live in it. I'm just saying, I don't know what you got, what
Well,
you
I
up
don't
here
know what
beating
it
us
looks
up on it
like
for right
now,
now.
but I know what it looked like at least 5 years ago.
Well, just imagine what a hurricane did to it since then.
Well, they had mold back there, the beds wasn't made, the air conditions had collapsed, and they never did pick it up. Half of the ceiling, the staircase was black, it needed a painting so bad.
Well, we miss Jean, and when they get this new
gotta
firehouse,
get this new millage
so when we get the
passed.
firehouse built, we're gonna let you go over there and police it probably every month or so. and
Well,
you
by
can
the time
let
that
us know and
happens,
give
I
us a
might
report.
not even be here on Earth.
The truth is, really what happened is that the hurricane, really blistered the firehouse, ripped off a big chunk of the roof, tons of water coming through the electrical panels, and they can't live in it. I know what happened in the past, but sometimes things in the past do better just stay there.
Harry and better wake up and start coming to the meetings and find
Right.
out what's going on.
Well, this is at no cost to any citizen.
That's why nobody comes anymore, because you don't let people.
I think no one comes anymore because they trust us.
Speaking now, keep speaking.
Yeah,
All right, Ms. Jean.
because this case.
All right, Ms. Jean, thank you.
Hello, do I gotta introduce myself or anything?
Name-
'Cause I've never done this before.
Name and address.
I'm Sherry Barrow, I live at 419 Hickory, I also own property at 567 Hickory. Okay? I got a problem with that firehouse, they're slackers, okay, with the capital S. Now, we happen to have family that survived 9/11. When I passed by the fire station on 9/11, you know what they don't have up? The American flag. So that ticked me off like you would not believe. Turn my car around, I go in the station, so I go in that modular unit. They are comfy. You see the big leather chairs they got in the things?
They fake
That's
leather, but
better
yeah, I
than
see
I have in
them.
my home. Okay? So there they are. They're all comfortable watching Oprah. Okay, not cool. So I go look for Chief, and I can't figure out what's up with that flag. Now, you would figure if I went in there and crawled up your butt, and I live on Hickory, you might get on that, because I'm gonna be watching. What was out there 4th of July? 4th of July. Is that a particular, holiday or something?
Did they give
That
you an
we
answer?
observe?
Did they give you an
I
answer
got it on my
why?
phone. No flag.
Did they give you an answer why the flag wasn't up there, or just, was
If
it?
I look at the little old dudes at the VFW over here, and the Lions home over there, and theirs are up,
Right.
I accept no excuse.
All right, I'm just asking if they answered you.
So, I'm gonna sit here and tell you, I can't say the flags were up for 9/11. I can't say they were up for 4th of July. I believe what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing.
That just takes a little effort.
I do see the flag up sometimes because I go to a lot of baseball games, and when they open the baseball games, that is a flag that we look at. And I'm not defending them. I'm saying sometimes it's up, sometimes it must not be. I didn't notice it. I'm just being honest
Well,
with
I'm
you.
just calling some attention to it, because when
I
they want
appreciate it.
my tax dollars, and they want the great American way, start doing something. Those doors on the things that they had to have to let the hoses hang out, they never close them, they let it rot. You never see them outside maintaining anything. And that's a lot of tax wages.
I'm gonna disagree with
They
you.
don't maintain anything.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I see them outside maintaining them trucks every morning. I go to Hickory Cafe just about every morning, Monday through Friday, and when I drive by, them guys out there washing and fooling with them trucks. I don't know what they're doing to them, but they out there fooling with them trucks every morning about 8 o'clock.
I'd like to see, there's no reports anymore where things happen, how many calls, none of the police calls. There's not that anymore, what's easy for the public to get to.
Well, we get a report from the police
Yay.
department every month.
Where I go to get these?
You-
You can download the Harahan Police Department app, and they'll be posted on there tomorrow.
Okay,
They've been there for...
and I have to go to the there's
free to.
Nothing up on like we the people at Harahan, just a monthly
that's
thing
just
anymore.
blah, blah, blah.
We don't do, well, I'm just saying, there's no web thing that, I gotta go hunting for it though. Okay. Thank you. I
That's a
appreciate
copy
y'all's
you can have
time.
right
And
there.
it's also discussed at every meeting, every monthly meeting, so if you watch us on YouTube, if you're not able to make the meeting, you'll hear the report delivered.
And you're welcome to come out to the meetings every third Thursday of the month. We're here, 6:30. Come on out. We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to move that we keep these to the topic at hand and have general discussions.
So we'll close public hearing and go into council discussion. Thank you, Councilman Buddy, duly noted. So council discussion on proposed resolution 2024-11. Now, just for the public's knowledge, this is a renewal. It is not anything new. It is a renewal. And it will go to the vote of the people.
This is a tax we're already paying. Will go to a vote of the people.
Let me remind the people, we pay 5 mils for fire coverage. We need to maintain our fire department, we need to support them. Jefferson Parish pays 25 mils. 3rd District, River Ridge pays 20 mils. So we get a bang for our buck. So we need to continue supporting our fire department with the 5 mils. So please support them and vote for this millage. It's a renewal.
Thank you, Councilman Johnson.
I know they have had a lot of talk about Jefferson Parish taking over the fire department all here. If Jefferson Parish took over our fire department, we wouldn't have a choice. Our millage would go up automatically because we're basically going to have to pay their millage rate for our fire, for
20
our
mils.
fire department.
20 mils.
25.
Oh, yeah, well, 20 including our 5, so it would go
It'd be go
20.
up 20.
Right. Instead of the point,
It's not going to happen.
It's
I'm
not
just
gonna
saying the
happen.
people are going to support the fire department, they're going to renew the millage. I'm just telling the people
yeah, support.
So
how
they
much difference it
understand.
is. Please support the fire department.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
3 yeas, 2 absence. Madam Clerk, please note for the record.
Can't hear you, baby. Oh, we need to amend
Yeah,
that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we need to propose an amendment, 2 amendments. We don't have a numbered one, but in the 1, 2, 3, 4th
Everywhere it
paragraph,
says
that
two.
that is titled Proposition, open parent, millage, renewal, close parent. On the 3rd line, the amount of $2,607,000 has to be deleted and replaced with $540,000. And on the attachment A, in the 2nd paragraph, again, that paragraph is titled Proposition, open parentheses, millage renewal, close parentheses. In the 3rd line, the amount of $2,607,000 has to be deleted and replaced with $540,000.
Okay, so Madam Clerk, have you recorded the vote on 2024-11? No? Because we're going to go back and amend 2024-11. We already voted on it without these amendments in it.
We're going to have to vote on it again.
Okay, so we're going to have to, we have a...
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Buddy to revisit proposed resolution 2024-11. And Councilman Buddy's amendments and proposed ordinance number 2024-11, everywhere where it reads $2,607,000 will be replaced with $540,000. Okay?
2,000, not 2 million.
2 million.
I'm sorry, $2,607,000, right?
Yes,
Okay, I got you.
you're correct, Mayor.
I mean, we'll take that.
Yeah. Okay, so we're now we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Buddy to amend 2024-11, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor to amend?
Yay.
Yay.
3 yeas, 2 absence. Madam
wanna
Clerk,
open it back
please
for
note for the
public
record. All right, now we're going to open back up for the hearing, proposed resolution number 2024-11 to be voted on as amended. Anyone wanting to come speak about proposed 2024-11 as amended with the change of the amendments stated prior, please come forward. No one coming forward. We'll now close public hearing. All in favor of proposed resolution 2024-11 presented by Councilman Chatelain, seconded by Councilman Johnson as amended? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
3 yeas, 2 absence. Madam Clerk, please note for the record, was approved as amended.
Ma'am? You could have mine.
All the packets are posted online on the website.
This is on posted as well?
The whole packet's
Okay.
online on the website.
Okay. And you said you had two, you said, was that just the amendments, or you have any other amendments? That was it,
I
okay.
got no paperwork to go home with.
Okay, cool. All right, so Madam Clerk, are we on ordinances for approval?
We have no ordinances for approval, ordinances for introduction. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain, proposed ordinance number 2024-14, an ordinance amending the Harahan Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, Buildings and Building Regulations by adding Section 14-190, Stormwater Regulations. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain, proposed ordinance number 2024-15, an ordinance amending ordinance number 1990, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024 for the capital project fund of the city of Harahan, Louisiana for a recreation ice machine. Old business number 1, planning and zoning board appointment.
All right, Madam Clerk, I don't know of any other planning and zoning board appointments at this time. Can we please defer to the next agenda?
You have to vote. You have to vote on the deferral.
I'll make a motion to defer.
We have a motion by Councilman Chatelain. We'll open for
Second.
public hearing. No one coming forth. We'll second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor?
Yay.
3 yeas, 2 absence. Madam Clerk, please note for the record.
Okay, new business number 1, Todd Turnion, Finance Director, monthly financials.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Brief update from the finance team. We continue to work on closing out the books for the month of July. Sales tax revenues continue to be strong. Video poker revenue is also strong, higher than budget, so that's a positive. We continue to work on the reconciliation of the FEMA-related expenses so that those are properly recorded as well. The auditors made reference to a few recommendations in the audit, and so we're working with the mayor and the city team to address those recommendations as well. Happy to answer any questions that the council members or the mayor may have.
Have we, have you had the opportunity to prepare a budget analysis to see where our actual versus budget stands?
So we have the reports that the city clerk sends out. We're working on a few adjustments still in July. We can send that report back out once we have the final adjustments for July, if that works.
Is there any way we can get a report through June on where every department is and how much percentage of their budget they've spent?
Sure.
I'd like to see a report. I haven't seen that, so I'd like to see a
Yeah.
report for the first 6 months of the year and where they're at.
Yep.
Each department.
Yep,
Thank you.
yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
Madam Clerk, new business number 2.
New business number 2, the St. Rita Fall Festival Committee members respectfully request permission to sell beer and wine at the annual St. Rita Pecan Fall Bingo. This year, the bingo will be held on Friday, October 4th, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. All proceeds from the Fall Festival will be used for charitable purposes benefiting St. Rita Parish.
Our public hearing is now open. If anyone wants to discuss the St. Rita Pecan Fest Fall Bingo, no one coming forth. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion. All right, no council discussion. All in favor?
Yeah.
3 yeas, 2 absent. Go
As
ahead,
long as
Councilman
they
Kane.
have this organized with the police department.
Yeah, you're
for
good.
details, because I mean, I do believe they sell alcohol, and
Yeah.
as long as we got it organized and accommodated
Chief gave
for
us the
detailed
thumbs up.
officers.
Usually Paul will be able to let me in the next day or two.
Got it. Yes, sir. Madam Clerk, new business number 3.
New business number 3, the St. Rita Fall Festival Committee members respectfully request permission to sell beer and wine at the annual St. Rita Fall Festival. The festival will be held this year on Friday, November 1st through Sunday, November 3rd, from 5 until midnight on Friday, from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. on Saturday, and from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay, anyone wanting to speak about new business number 3, St. Rita Fall Fest, please come to the podium. No one coming forth. We'll close that. Council discussion.
Same thing, as long as they have worked out with the police department.
You got it? All in favor?
Yeah.
3 yeas, 2 absent. Madam Clerk, please note for the record.
New business number 4, the members of the St. Rita Fall Festival Committee respectfully request permission to block Berg Street from Imperial Woods to Ravan Avenue during the hours of operation for the St. Rita Fall Festival. We also request to block Ravan Avenue on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We will use Ravan Avenue to move the children from the school to Berg Street for their classroom performances. The neighbors this will affect will be notified in advance of our intentions.
All right, Chief, they've talked about you. Okay, they have. Okay, so Chief is good with this as well.
I'd like to add on here if they could block from Elaine to Ravan as well.
So do you want to amend this?
Amend this.
Councilman Chatterley
Say,
wants to
I'm sorry,
amend.
how would it read, please?
Instead of just going from Ravan to Imperial Woods, it's going to go from Elaine all the way to Imperial Woods, the whole Berg Street.
Okay.
Okay,
I just know the owners come in every year and ask for that.
right.
And
So we have a motion by Councilman Chatterley to amend the agenda as previously stated. All in favor? I'm sorry, I got to open up a public hearing. No one coming forth. We'll close public hearing. All in favor of the amendment for new business number 4?
Yay.
Yeah,
3 yeas, 2 absence. All right, now we're going to vote on new business number 4 as amended. We'll open for public hearing. Anyone want to come forth? No one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing. All right, guys, new business number 4, all in favor?
yeah.
Yay.
And that's as amended. Madam Clerk, please note for the record.
You got it. Address the council.
Okay, anybody wanting to address the council, please come to the podium and state your name and address. Yes, ma'am, come on up.
I wasn't going to, but
No,
I
it's
have 4 things.
4 things?
Yeah.
Sweet mercy.
Okay. Not to beat a dead horse, but my husband and I always talk about July 4th with the flag. We never see anything outside on those poles. And I know y'all, one year they had Christmas little flags up or something. Is there any way y'all could put American flags up for the 4th?
So just to put, so we're working on a lot of things right now,
Okay.
certainly a part of it. But just to let you know that those flags are very expensive. And not only is it expensive, it's more expensive to get somebody out there and put them on.
Yeah.
And then all that hardware on them poles needs to be updated. So I was the one that put the flags up the first time, and then when you come them down, the hardware was just disintegrating as we were taking off the pole. We'd love to be there, it's just something that we gotta get
Okay,
some money.
well, if it's on the agenda that,
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
to talk about.
We do have 5 new flagpoles purchased
Oh, yeah, she-
that are going different places around the city.
she's
though.
not talking
Just to let you
flagpoles.
know, I'm
Yeah,
just,
Yeah,
So we do
I'm
have
just talking
5
about, like,
new
it would be
flagpoles
nice when
coming.
you come into Harahan to see the flag.
So we
you
just
know.
got the flagpoles replaced at the senior center. That's gonna be the ones that will start. Go check those out. They're
Okay.
incredible. And we do put the flags up every day. And actually, we're gonna have a program going with the senior centers with the seniors that will have a veteran of the senior center come in and be a part of raising the flags every day. The truth is, and I'm not making excuses, but prior to me, when I was here, a lot of the flagpoles here were made out of old telephone poles and stuff like that, and they had this jacked up hardware that doesn't hang on to anything. So we have all the new flagpoles all ordered, and in the very near future, you will see flags on every pole. It is very important to me, just as much as it is to you, to honor our veterans.
I don't have time to come by and check on that every morning. It just leaves an
I just-
impression on people
I
when
wanna
they
re-
drive in my town.
Yeah, I just want to
and they
reassure
see
you that I
things
am on
like
top of
that.
it.
That's my point.
Yes,
no,
sir.
we get it.
Yeah, I just
We
want to
get it.
reassure you that
It's
I am on
respect.
top of it.
And
sorry.
the other thing, well,
Ma'am,
the
could you
second
state
thing.
your name?
Oh, Eileen Hagedorn, 7216 Windsor.
Thank you.
My husband made the flag.
Right.
Anyway, the police website is great if you can get on it, because it does update everything that's going on in the parish, so it is really good. We appreciate that. And I have kind of a complaint.
Complaints? Oh,
There's a
gee.
lot of grass that people leave in the street when they cut the grass, and it just aggravates us to no end, especially, too, on Jefferson Highway. These people that cut the grass for us on Jefferson Highway,
We know.
if they could,
So I'm going to address that Jefferson Highway issue because we did have a little issue recently with the grass cutters cutting the grass on Jefferson Highway. And I'm going to ask a question at the same time I'm addressing this. Did you notice the grass on the highway as much before the construction? So the grass cutters were having a problem cutting the grass because when they
yeah.
would cut the grass, all of these cones and stuff are stacked on neutral ground. So they couldn't stay straight to try to maintain the grass.
Yeah.
So they were going around these cones, trying to move these cones. They cut the grass this week. I think it was 100 times better because the cones are gone.
Yeah.
So let's give these guys another month and let's see if it
Okay.
stays a little better, because we have been on them. We have got numerous complaints, but
And Councilman Chatterley and I are meeting with him next week too, because
Okay.
it's real unique. I mean, it's an onion with a lot of layers, but that's a state highway, and the state only offers so much funding.
Yeah.
And so the problem truthfully is that it's not enough funding to cut that highway and make it really beautiful.
I got
So Councilman Chatterley and I, being council president, Mayor Pro Tem, I'm going to ask him to allocate me a little bit more money so we can actually invest into those guys to help them get a better product, to help deliver a
Yeah.
better product. But
And as far as individual people, like, it's probably up to the person paying the person that cuts your grass. Please make
absolutely,
sure.
we have a law against that.
there's
by the way.
ordinances
Well,
against it.
you come in the Imperial Woods, I mean, there's grass, they blow it, then they go
then
on, it's
sometimes
all
they
in the
blow 'em in the
street.
drain.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Anyway, the other thing is, I brought this up last year, it never went anywhere, but this is kind of on the good note. I suggested to have that Christmas caroling at St. Rita's sometime in December. Well, I went over to St. Rita to speak to Father Bruno, and he said that's not them, that should come back to you. So Carrie Hurstis and I emailed quite a few times, but nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I don't know how they.
But then they said, well, maybe we could have it in Zarang Park. So it's just something to think about if y'all,
you
it
wanna
would
have
be
the
a nice
Christmas carol-
community.
You want a location to have the Christmas carol.
Like, yeah, just
a good
I thought you meant for us, the Christmas carol. I'm not a
well,
singer.
if you'd like to.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I mean, I'm sure the mayor can talk about what we got going on at the
Yeah.
Harahan
I just think it would be a
playground.
nice
We have
community.
an awesome idea. If you'd stay in touch with me from here to the end of the year, we're
might have a
we're
very
going to have
nice
an
place.
incredible spot, and it'll be a great place to showcase with our
Okay.
Park of Heroes that we're doing at the playground right now, and we'll be open for December. And boy, it would be a great kickoff and a great
Yeah.
opportunity to showcase what we have going on over there. And the venue is going to be incredible.
You just gave him a
Great.
great idea.
Yeah, I know, I love it.
He's
Well,
taking
not
it.
a complaint, you say.
He's taking it. It's not yours no more.
No,
And
no,
I'd
I
like
love
to
it.
especially, again, thank the police. They do a really good job. We
Yeah,
appreciate
he's
it.
okay. He's okay. All right, we'll close public hearing. Chief, you want to, well, I'm sorry, we'll go to.
Secretary's report.
Yep, we'll go to Secretary's report, Madam Clerk.
Secretary's report for July 2024, total revenues, $716,447.80. Reports.
Hey, Chief, it's all you. I don't know. Wait.
Thank you. Good evening. Few things. Go down my list here real quick, but we've hired a couple of new officers. We have one that'll start September 1st. He's a former New Orleans policeman, got out of police work, wanted to get back in police work, so he showed up at our doorstep, so we accepted him and bringing in, he'll be a good asset to us. We also have another officer that graduates. It's hard to believe. He's already been in the academy. He's going to graduate on the 27th of this month. So we'll have two new officers coming on board with us that we're looking forward to their help. We're working on a hurricane plan. I've been working with the mayor and Councilman Chatelain. We've been attending meetings at the EOC across the river with Jefferson Parish. We're working on that. As we get more information, we'll be passing it out, passing it along to everybody. For training, we've been putting our officers through a lot of training. The officers, we're trying to get training for them. We just had 7 officers go through crime scene training to be able to process a crime scene for fingerprints, photos, and handling it. Right now, we use the sheriff's office to come in, but sometimes it takes a little longer to get them here. We're able to do it ourselves to be a little bit more self-sufficient, but we still will be relying on the sheriff's office from time to time for things that we need additional services with. Want to remind everybody, school's back in session. School zones are in effect. We want everybody to have a good school year and be safe, but no, we are enforcing traffic laws, and we are enforcing the school zones. So be careful. Look out for the school lights blinking and all. So we want to make sure everybody's safe, and especially when the kids are out there. We did have an officer that was involved in a pretty bad accident. It was involved in a pursuit. that Jefferson Parish was in. The two subjects were coming in from New Orleans. Jefferson Parish was in a pursuit with them. Our officer responded to assist with that pursuit. The pursuit entered onto mounds, and the perpetrators intentionally ran into our Harahan police unit. And the subject was arrested in New Orleans, and they did charge him with attempted murder of a police officer. So the crime's coming out here. We need to make sure our police department is fully funded, taken care of. We need more officers. They're doing a great job. We have a narcotics division now that the officers are doing a lot of narcotics and a lot of narcotic stops. Unfortunately, we're seeing more narcotics coming in, and it's a lot of outside folks that want to come into the city or pass through. We're not going to tolerate it. If you come into our city and break the law, we will put you in jail, and we will take every action necessary. Talking about the app, you ask where you can find the stats. We ask everybody to go online. It's a free app. It's called the Harahan Police Department app. We post a lot of information going out. We post severe weather reports. We post things that are happening in the city. We're working on adding to that, to the app for residents that are going to be staying. Should we have a hurricane and evacuate? If you're going to be staying in the city, there's going to be a section on this app to let us know your address, how many folks are going to be staying with you, is there anybody with special needs that will be staying in the city, so that we can respond as soon as we can when weather permits to be able to help those citizens. If you're going to be leaving the city, we're going to have a section on the app to give us your name, your address, and a phone number, so that once the winds and everything calms down, we'll go out and check your resident, and we'll give you a call or a text to let you know your property's there. But by having the app, we'll be able to put out to let you know it's safe to come back to the city or into the parish, because we'll be working closely with Jefferson Parish and the EOC to let everybody know that it's safe to come back into the city. From what I understand right now, there's going to be two evacuation type locations that will be able to transport people out of the area. And that's going to be at the Hilario Center on the West Bank and one of the churches back in Kenner off of Vintage. That plan's still being worked, and we're working closely, like I said, with the parish to be able to better serve the community and our residents that need help. Let's see. The Jefferson Parish did provide the City of Harahan, the Police Department, and the City of Harahan, and all the municipalities. We now all have what's called Starlink satellite. It's going to be placed on the building here. It is a mobile satellite. The parish purchased them for all the municipalities in the parish. If the Wi-Fi goes down, the internet goes down, this is a satellite Wi-Fi that'll bring everything back up online. So we'll be able to have communications with the EOC and our partners with the state. We won't lose service. So we're very fortunate the parish purchased that. The parish did pay through this hurricane season. They paid the service on it, but towards the end of the year, next year, we're going to have to pick up that service if we want to continue to have that satellite. And we've talked to I've talked to the people in DC that have the service on it. It looks like we may be able to do a month-to-month service on it, where you would pay 3 months up front, and then you would pay for additional months as needed. That way we don't have to pay for 12 months out the year, or 9 months out the year. We're not going to may need it. So we don't want to be paying for something that we don't have to pay for. But it would be as needed basis, month to month. Let's see here. I just talked about that. We are working on Night Out Against Crime. We haven't come up with a date yet. It'll be sometime in October. The public's going to be invited to come out. Again, if you have the app, we're going to be pushing out all the notifications. We're working on Halloween. We need to figure out, Dosher usually has several hundred people show up, and we want to make sure we have proper coverage EMS, the fire department, and everyone out to be able to cover the city. And we are working on the Christmas parade. The Christmas parade this year will be on December 14th. So we hope we have good weather, and we invite everybody to come out. If your organization or group would like to participate in the Christmas parade, you can reach out to my assistant Kathleen and you give her that information. It's 504-737-4800, and Kathleen will be happy to get your information and moving forward. So I think with that, that's enough for me to ramble on about. Jason usually shuts me down by now. But that's the report. Let me give real quick, I'm sorry.
Your stats.
We did have 788 calls for service last month. We had 8 vehicle accidents. There was issued 131 citations for speeding, stoplights, stop signs, and various violations. We received 10 patrol requests. And again, with the app, if you're going out of town on vacation or going to be away from the house, you can put a patrol request in on the app and let us know that you're going to be out of town or you're going to be gone for a certain amount of time. And we'll make sure we go by and check your residence a couple times during that shifts to make sure everything's secured. Patrol requests and resident checks last month, we did 103 of those checks. Business checks, the guys have been really aggressive doing patrols on those. We had 1,011 business checks last month. Traffic enforcement, we did 353 traffic enforcements throughout the month in different locations. We're receiving complaints of stop signs being run, speeding in the neighborhoods. So we've set up traffic enforcement where the officers will go work those areas and look for those violators. Medical calls for medical services, we had 57 medical calls last month for assistance from residents. We had 28 misdemeanor arrests. We had 49 municipal charges, which 5 were felonies, 22 misdemeanors, 17 city charges, 5 traffic charges. We had 8 narcotic arrests with 10 narcotic charges for various types of drugs that were in their possessions. We had 1 felony arrest, and that was on a resident burglary in the city. We did apprehend the perpetrator that was involved in that. So the detectives and the officers did a good job responding quick, gathering their information, and we were able to make an arrest. And then we had 5 thefts and 5 assaults charges last month. So with that said, appreciate everybody. I'll answer any questions anybody may have. But I want to thank the council and the city. We're working good with the police department and the fire department. We're all responding. We have your best interests at heart, believe me. We're not getting rich by doing these jobs. So like I say, I'm doing it because I love the city, and we want to make sure it's taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Madam Clerk. Councilman Buddy.
No report.
Councilman Chatterley.
No report.
No report.
Councilman Johnson, no report. Just want to reiterate one thing that the chief said. We are back in school, so please slow down in those school zones. Pay attention to what you're doing. It's been incredibly hot outside, so make sure you guys hydrate. And if you need anything, please call and let us know at City Hall. We'll move on as fast and quick as we possibly can. Just one real quick update. Memorial Park is about halfway complete, I think, at about this time, and we're really excited about this new project that the city is really working hard on, and there'll be, a really flagship visiting spot that we're very, very proud of. And so as we start to work on it, we'll try to continue to give us some updates. But again, we're very proud of it. And if you guys have any questions about it, please call us at City Hall. You can either ask for myself or Chief of Staff Brian Wallace. Thank you.
Pay bills. Bills paid in July 2024. Total expenditures, $926,923.23. No executive session. Adjourn.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
3 yeas, 2 absent. We are adjourned.